New recovery tank installed. Hose is perfectly positioned on the low part of the tank. You can sort of see it right there at the tip. And it's snug, held into place. It's kinked a little bit underneath. I don't know if I can get a picture of that or not. But the frame here has kind of got a kink in it, but it's still, I blew in the other end and it still flows nice. But that kink will help hold it in place too, since there's really no clamp. It's just really friction in that grommet, and then held in place by the kinked in the frame, and then the frame is kind of pinching it between the tank and here, so that's also holding it. So yeah, the only problem I have now is it's a thicker diameter, so my clamp won't fit over the little knurling part on the nipple. So I'll see if I can maybe stretch it. If not, I'll just put a little hose clamp on it. A little trick to getting these hoses off is to use a booger hook or a cotter key puller, whatever you want to call them. We always call them booger hooks. And work it in around, get it in there, and then just kind of work it around the hose like this, pushing down at the same time. Uh-oh, about to make a mess. Oh dear. Whatever. Works pretty good. And you don't scratch, you know, with a screwdriver, you have likelihood to scratch everything. So I'm going to pour some tap water right through here, radiator, just to kind of flush it out. Oh. That might through faster than I thought it would. That was about a gallon. That was, I don't know, I'll just dump it all and call it a gallon. All right. Okay, what I'm going to do next is just lift this up. I'm not going to put the clamp on. I'm not going to put the cap on. I'm just going to be pouring. I'm going to fill it up with tap water. I'm going to start it up. I'm gonna put this all on time lapse too, so you can see it. And then get it circulating and turn it off, dump it, hook the hose back up, turn it back on. I'm gonna do that about 3 times, and then the last time I'm going to dump in some distilled water to kind of clean out all the tap water, and then dump that, and then from there, that point, we'll fill it up. I wanted to show you the color of this water as it's belching out of this radiator. Our little funnel here. Looks like it's getting kind of hot. Whew. But just the fact that it's that dirty, I'm glad that I'm getting all that crud out. I rinsed it about 7 or 8 times. I don't know, I lost count. Because, I mean, the water's clear as can be, but every time I'd get a few flakes of just little black, brown flakes of crud just a few. So I'll rinse it one more time, and then each time, you know, I put in fresh water, I would still get those little flakes. The last time, I'm just dumping out in the driveway there, but the last time I didn't have many flakes left, and that was the 10th rinsing, so that's why I started adding the distilled water. So it's got distilled water in it now. I think I'm gonna, and as soon as it gets hot, it starts bubbling up out of the radiator, so I'm gonna let it cool off a little bit, and I'm gonna circulate the distilled water through it a few more times to make sure it's good and dilutes the tap water as much as possible before I drain it out and put the fresh distilled and the antifreeze in. Cool down for about a half an hour, and just came out and showed you a little video of what's going on inside the funnel when as it's warming up. As it cools down, it settles back down again. The hotter it gets, the more violent it gets, as you probably saw. This is the distilled water, so it's this is the last. Once I dump this, I'll mix this 50-50, and that'll go in. I might mix a little stronger than 50-50, just because I know there's residual. There's a little bit of residual water in there in that system, but just to get a little, I'm shooting for 50-50 mix. I just drained the distilled water, and I wanted to show you what was in the tray. It looks like sand or grit or something, but it's actually just flakes of, I guess, I don't know, just flakes of, that water's really hot. But they kind of smear. It doesn't feel like sand. It's like ash or, I'm not sure what you would, it's, yeah, if anyone knows, let me know. Since I only used about 1/3 of a gallon of distilled water, I'm gonna pour some more through and run it one more time, and then I'll probably mix a really stout batch with the remaining 1/3 in the jug and pour that into the bike. Stout batch of antifreeze is what I meant. I told myself I was done once I did the distilled water once, but I decided to do it twice just because of all those flakes. After I brought it up to temp twice, it circulated twice as much, had twice as many flakes in it. So I'm gonna do that one more time, even though it probably never get all those flakes out, whatever they're, little corrosion flake, ash flakes, I don't know what they are. So here we go, one more time. Oh, I can't do this one hand. I'm gonna try to hold the phone with my chin, and so I can pull in the clutch. It's cooled down quite a bit. Bubbles. done this enough times to know when to shut it off. All right, I'm going to continue circulating this second batch of distilled. And I decided I'm going to go look up what the quantity, hopefully I have specs on the quantity. And after I drain this second batch, I'll fill it up again with the last third. Run that through, and then probably another third of antifreeze.